Hello, and thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Water Cooler Guys Chat. Now please welcome Niswonger, Wiseman, and Mortar. Take it away, fellas.
Drink before everything starts.
He has
All
to
right,
stay
here we are.
hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
I do.
He has to make sure we can hear every M sound he does. Well,
Oh,
Here's the thing. Sorry, listeners.
that's right.
Roll
and
it.
viewers, yes. Thank you for joining us around the water cooler this week, guys. This week we'll be kicking things off with our top 10 TV shows. We also have a couple segments. One is a hot seat challenge, which we have done prior, as well as a new Rotten Tomatoes versus challenge that the fellas will be participating in. We also have our first email, which we will read on air here as soon as we get around to that point. But with us wanting to chat around the water cooler about our favorite TV shows, top 10 TV shows, as well as honorable mentions. We also have our overrated, underrated of TV shows. So let's kick it off. And Mr. Niswonger voted to go first, so we'll see what he's got on his list. See if we agree with it. Let's hear it.
all right. I'm going to start with my top 10 list and go from there. Ready?
All right.
Okay.
All right. Number 10, I have, and you're going to get tired of this, Smallville.
Uh-huh.
I enjoyed Smallville. I am a huge, I don't know if our listeners have picked up on this or our viewers. I might be a huge Superman fan. Just, there might be hints somewhere. I don't know. It could be right behind me. But
Just
Smallville,
not a fan of the newest movie, though, however, but that's for a later
you-
discussion.
No.
it's not on the top 10. And now that I'm
shows,
thinking about
yeah,
it, I just
yeah.
wrote in an overrated mention, but here we are. But here, all right. Number 10 was Smallville. Number 9 was Superman and Lois. Yep, just back to back. Now,
It's Superman and Superman.
well, no, the Smallville started, and it was the first introduction we really got into Clark's life. It wasn't about Superman; it was about how
That's true.
Clark was getting his things. And then Lois and Clark, or the Superman and Lois, is like the end of his phase, like towards the end where he has kids and he's trying to pack it all down to them. It's made like every one of them is made like a little movie. Like the production value is really good on that show. I
It's true.
enjoyed it. I really didn't find a point when I was like, oh, this is crap. But every bit of it. I think they do better in series than they do in movies in representing Superman. And not counting that crap movie that was just came out. Number 8, Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
Okay.
That was a good movie or a good series. Number 7, Breaking Bad. I know,
Okay,
7 on
wow.
that list. Matt's
7.
like,
Ooh,
that's in the top
down
5 for
there.
him, I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Number 6, Lost.
Okay.
I
Good to have in a top 10
enjoyed
list.
Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very good sci-fi fantasy series. I enjoyed it very much. Still, I haven't watched it as much as everyone else has to see the connections. I've only watched it one time through, and I believe you need to watch it many more times than that to really pick up on all the things that I have missed.
It
all
is
the
definitely a
connections.
show that you watch a couple of times to
Yeah.
catch everything.
But
Yes.
the fact watching it once made it in your top 10. That's pretty
That's
impressive.
true. That's
It was
saying
really
something.
good. It was like the water cooler. Everyone went and they watched it every week. And then you went and talked about it with your friends. That was one of the
Yeah.
things that was entertaining about this series. Number 5, The Office. The Office is
very good.
a good series. It's humorous. I enjoyed it, every bit of it. Number 4, the last 4 you're going to be questioning, but Ted Lasso.
Okay.
Ted Lasso's on my number 4 list.
Yeah.
Number 3, The Chosen. I very much enjoy the series The
Okay.
Chosen. It is
Mm-hmm.
I haven't found any
Yes.
fault in it. I understand it is based on someone everyone knows, and it's hard, but it's just really good. If you haven't seen The Chosen, watch it.
Yeah.
Yes, you should.
Number 2, Game of Thrones. I enjoyed Game of Thrones. I gave it number 2. Yes, there are things that could be bad, but it was just a fun fantasy series. It too got you around the water cooler. I messed it up several times for Wiseman. I enjoyed doing that too. I told him people died and what happened to him before it happened.
Oh,
to
man.
him. He was like,
Did he ever?
A-hole. Yeah. We were in the supply room. He was like, oh, did you see that? I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. He's like, what? Number 1, Band of Brothers. That is my number 1 series. I could watch that. Your TV clickers or whatever. If it's on TV, you're gonna sit and watch it. That's Band of Brothers is for me. I love World War II history, and that one just hit on all channels. So there's mine. Honorable
mentions. Okay,
I do. Modern Family. I have that as one of my honorable mentions. I enjoyed, just funny, great, made me want to have a good family. My other, no, I didn't have any other honorable mentions. I have overrated and underrated. I guess I have a lot more honorable mentions, but I like my underrated and my overrated. For my overrated, Sex and the City. I tried to get into Sex and the City. Everyone was like, oh, are you a Samantha or are you a Mary Jane? I don't know what it is. But remember at that time, they were like, are you a so-and-so? Do you go get your red Blano block shoes from so-and-so? No. Didn't like it. All right. My underrated, Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Did you say underrated?
Underrated. I put it as an underrated because I only picked the show up as one of those, hey, what are you watching shows? And after so many times of, hey, what are you watching? And then going, are you watching the Kardashians tonight? Like, and then sticking around. It's underrated. I know you're watching rich people do things that I will never get to do and all that. It's still entertaining in a point of going, oh man, if I had more money and more
mentally, I'm putting you on the couch.
Yeah.
I typically lose brain cells when I even hear that show on in the background. I feel like my IQ just lowered a little bit here. I don't.
Well, I was going over this list with someone, and I was given that option, and I said, yeah, all right, I'll mention that one. I'll mention an underrated for you. I'll put that one in there.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah,
isn't that nice?
Yeah,
so taking the man card, I'll just take my man card and give it right back to you guys. Like, keep it in there.
We can do that.
Tony has no clue on the homework. She has no clue even what our topic is. She has to wait until it comes out, and it drives her crazy. But she is not a part of any of it. So
see, I've told Rose. So
yeah, it's fun to drive down and just like, oh, what is this? What is it? Like, oh, I guess it'd be fun. I'm losing out on listeners by having her do this. I'm like, oh, one less listener.
She don't need to listen now. She already knows it.
Yeah, no, she doesn't know your guys's. Like,
right.
Yeah,
gotta listen into that.
I have one more overrated and one more underrated. Overrated, Heroes. Now, I would have gave that an underrated, but if you go off the first season of Heroes, it is very underrated. After that, they started listening to the fans, I believe, and not really writing for the show. It became so convoluted and messy by the time it was done. That's the only way to describe it. Like, what? What is happening? Is Siler a good guy? Is he a bad guy? What's going on here? So it started off really well.
Very, very similar season 1 ending to that. Such a great build up and everything, and the way it ended. Very reminiscent of Game of Thrones for me and Arya. I mean, it's like, did you guys not see that show in the playbook of all that great build up just to have that little whimper of a That was
Like,
that
oh my
easy.
God.
Really?
You played that character up that far, and that's the story arc. That's the one that you chose to go with.
Yeah, that was so easy to do.
Mhm.
Okay, well, okay, yeah. And then I was lost after that. Yeah, I was like,
Yep.
no,
And,
okay.
and it never came back. Like, I think they had 5 seasons total, if I'm right. And like the first season and the last season, somehow they were like the last season, they were starting to get back on track, and then it got canceled. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
all right, my
At
last
that point, they'd already
underrated.
lost their. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's all right. I didn't hear you. My underrated, my last one is Tiger King.
You know, can't say I've
Okay.
actually watched that.
Yeah.
You've not seen the series Tiger King? Oh
That's-
man, if you want a meth fueled party, watch that show. Just
Okay.
all of it, because you're just like watching this and you don't know what you're watching, but it just keeps getting deeper and crazy
Yep.
every episode. You're like, I don't know how this could get any crazy. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Those
Quick
people
fact.
are really out there in the world that live that
Yeah.
way. Yeah. Yeah.
quick fact from
Oh.
Tiger King, he used to get food. He would go to Walmart and he would get food for his animals that they would throw away. But then the man decided he would start a pizza shop on his land in his little area and started using said expired products in the pizza. And he had no problem with it whatsoever. He thought he was a genius. Like, that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
A gentleman died on it, and it was just like, normal, everyday. Like, it's like
Mhm.
that kind of thing.
Wow.
Like, they
Yeah.
don't address it like that, but that's what it seems like. It's like, this happens all the time, I guess.
Yep.
No. All right. My other list of honorable mentions I have in no particular order. I'll just give you 5. Ghost, the new one series on what is it, CBS, where she talks to ghosts and she's in the house. It's
Mhm.
based off of another one.
Jennifer Love Hewitt,
No, that's
No.
Ghost Whisperer.
Ghost
Yeah,
Whisperer.
that's Ghost.
Okay.
No, this one she inherited a bed and breakfast and she can talk to ghosts, and it came with ghosts, and now they put her in all sorts of different crazy spots.
Mhm.
Reacher on Amazon, really good show. I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys had a chance to watch that, but he immortalizes Reacher better than Tom Cruise's does. Like,
Yeah.
just he gets the whole package. Tom Cruise was 5'5". Alan Rickman is 6 foot. Like, he's your size and muscle, I think.
Right.
I don't know exactly what it is, but
But,
can you imagine
but-
someone your
Yeah,
size?
he's a bit bigger.
I'm not saying you're not all muscle, but you're not all muscle. So it would be weird
Yeah.
to see a 6'5" guy with all muscle just coming at you like, I'm gonna beat your ass. Oh, sir,
Just
you're done. Let me help you with
just
this.
solid brick.
Yeah, I'll beat my own ass. Thanks. Like, hold on, give me a second. I'll show you. Family Guy, honorable mention. Oh, sorry, y'all. I know I'm messing this up. I have this as an overrated because I've tried to watch it with Destiny after watching this show with Chandler many years before. South Park. South Park was fun to watch, and I'm going to get emails because this is going to sound so bad, but I'm going to say it. This show was fun to watch with my adolescent or my, teenage son. Not fun to watch with my teenage daughter. It is really not fun to watch with the teenage daughter.
Yeah.
And then I'm a little less okay with just the constant GDs and Jesus Christos just constantly. And I was just like, this doesn't feel good to
Cringe.
watch anymore.
Yeah,
It's just like,
yeah.
when you watch something and you turn it off and you're like, I feel a bit icky afterwards. Like, I don't feel like that feels good.
Yeah.
South Park is the new show. Like, I told her after watching the last one, maybe there's something else we can watch together. Maybe there's
Mhm.
something a little better for us to be watching that I won't feel so bad afterwards. Like,
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
how
And my
about an
honorable
episode of-
mentions.
How about an episode of Chosen? Let's watch an episode of
There you
Chosen right
go.
after. There, yeah.
It really is a difference watching those two back to back. It feels like I might
Little
as
bit.
well have been let's watch Chosen, and now we're gonna watch Lucifer, which
Uh-huh.
funny enough didn't make it on my list.
It's
I
like,
mean,
it's like,
yeah.
hey, let's go for a walk to Dairy Queen and get us an ice cream on the halfway point and walk on back. Yeah.
All right. Honorable mentions. I'll go with this and we'll be done. Westworld, Cops, Married with Children.
Mhm.
I just hit me.
Mhm.
Stranger Things, and Yellowstone.
Oh, nice.
I know. I put Yellowstone.
I can't believe I
on
didn't
honorable
mention some of those. Wow.
Right?
You got some good selections.
You
I like
do?
you. I
selections,
went
dude.
even further, but I'm not going to mention them just in case you guys have them. I don't want to take away your gusto. So that was my list. That was what I
don't want
put
to steal
together.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Are we
I like
allowed
that.
to? There's my question. As you guys are talking about your list, are we allowed to like X out ours as you're doing it, or do we have to keep it with what you said?
No, I mean, you have some that are on some of my lists, so I'm going to mention them again. So it's okay to have overlap, I would think.
Yeah, I'd say that you
Well,
kind
no,
of
I meant
sprinkled
like
in
in the
a little bit
process
of
of
mine as
saying it.
well.
As a process of listening, if I were to went third, if I could have been down here jotting it down, hold on, like I have a pencil.
Like Wiseman just did. Like, oh, I totally forgot about that show. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I saw his hand jiggling underneath. I could see he was.
I was
writing
like,
something.
I'm making a note. Like, oh, remember that.
Do
But
you
I'm
wanna
not.
go-
I am not gonna. I'm not gonna mention any of those that he mentioned. I'm keeping to my original one.
Okay.
But I love your ideas, and so I wrote some of those down to kind of give you props on that. So like,
Yeah.
Superman and Lois. I didn't write those down. That was a great one.
Yeah.
But I've got mine are a little bit more old school. I've got some that are modern, but mostly old school. And so,
Do you want to keep teasing this, or do you want to go ahead and give us your list there, sir?
I'll give it to you.
All right.
Stop
So my
teasing,
top
man.
10, my top 10 starts with Full House. Really enjoyed Full House. It's kind of one of those feel good family movies, TV shows
You're
where
gonna find
at
yourself
the
doing
end
that.
of every episode, things are coming back to normal. You know, you're able to come to some sort of conclusion. That wholesome style TV show that I remember growing up to, I always loved. Like I said, Niswanger, you mentioned a couple of them that were a little bit more modern. That I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea. Number 9 for me, Quantum Leap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Fantastic TV show. I really
love
love Scott
Quantum Leap.
Bakula.
Can I go again?
Are you knocking off one of your Superman shows, or what?
No.
You mentioned Superman and Lois. You mentioned
Yeah.
Superman and Lois, and I remember it wasn't that long ago that I watched it with Rose, and we thoroughly loved that series. And the ending, they put a nice bow on that, and I thought, you know what?
Mhm.
That's probably the best Superman movie TV show. I'm gonna get it right.
Mm-hmm.
TV show that I've ever seen. And I came into it a bit speculative. Like I was like,
Mhm.
not sure. We'll see. But wow, it delivered. But alas, I did not put that on my list.
Not even
Number
an
8.
honorable mention. Man.
No, didn't even think about it. Number 8, Game of Thrones. I did enjoy Game of Thrones. Niswanger, you know, the very ending to that kind of did me in. I know that you mentioned very similar to how I know myself at least feels about Lost. You kind of have to watch that at least once, twice, 3 times, and then you come to really appreciate that ending. But I've not brought myself to that just yet.
The
that
problem
ending.
I believe they had with Game of Thrones is they put 2 years in between seasons. So it's hard to watch that long compared to watching it like you would Lost back to back to back. You're like, oh, okay, I see it more. I see what's going on more.
Mm-hmm. Number 7, Cheers. Don't you want to go where everybody knows your name? I know I do. I love going to Cheers. I love watching Cheers. It's one of those feel good shows that you're listening to it right now, aren't you, Nice?
In my head.
You're
Yep,
just-
I'm just
yeah.
you wanna go where everybody knows.
That's right. You know, at the very end of the TV show, he's sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Mm-hmm.
So Ubu Productions?
Yeah.
So no, I love that. So I had mentioned in a message, hey, we're talking about TV series. This one's going to be slightly in question. Well, that hit number 6. Number 6, and you can argue with me if you want to, but I'd much rather you agree with me. Batman, the animated series. That is a TV show.
It is.
Mhm.
And I love that TV show.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic, it was a gritty animated series that
Mhm.
took after, even I think Danny Elfman did the scoring to that
Mhm.
I believe
animated
so, yeah.
series itself. Wow. Just wow.
Isn't that the
Clayface,
same-
seeing some of the series where the introduction to Clayface with Mark Hamill's introduction of the Joker, you know, so many hard hitters that paved the way for video games, for some of the motion picture. That kind of kicked it off for the animated motion picture for some of these Batmans as well.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yep. Number 5, Lost. I really enjoyed Lost, but there were other ones that I put ahead of it. And Lost is
Acting so
definitely one of those.
defensive, though. I really liked it, but I pushed him. It's okay.
That's getting a little tight in the chest. Like, oh, okay, all right, no,
Yeah,
I'll let
no,
that
it's
go.
great.
I'll let it slide.
I felt the same
Oh.
thing when I said Lost at mine at like number 7. I was like, I'm sorry, Matt. Lost at number 7.
Hey, you guys both had it on there. That's great. So,
You know, it just so many different things on that. You know, you all, everybody, 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. Lots of little Easter eggs in that entire show. Love that show.
mhm.
Rose and I will actually pull that out. It's one of the reasons why it's in the top 5. From 5 on, these are the repeat shows that Rose and I will sit down and we'll say, hey, let's watch this.
Mhm.
We'll watch it through and through. Just start with episode 1, we'll move on. So this is what made the top 5. So Lost is 5. Number 4, The Chosen. Niswanger mentioned it. It's a fantastic, fantastic show. Dallas Jenkins did a fantastic job on making this, and it's anybody who hasn't seen it, like Niswanger said, watch it. It's very, very well done. And the depiction of Jesus, seeing the human side of him, you know, God become man, and just having that human relation there. And then not only that, but also just the disciples themselves. So yeah, fantastic show. Love that. Number 3, Friends.
Nice.
I love Friends. That's one of those that I'll watch over and over and over again. It's hard for me to actually see the actors today, how they look today.
Yep.
Because in here, they still look like the way that they do in the TV series.
And I don't know about you, but anytime you saw them in movies, they were that friend character and not the character in the movie they were trying to portray. So it was very hard
Yep.
to see them in movies too. Yeah.
6 Days, 7 Nights.
Yeah.
Where why can't I think of his name?
Matthew Perry.
Ross.
David
David
Schwimmer.
Schwimmer.
David Schwimmer. Thank you. Looks the same. So it's like,
Mhm.
yep, that's Ross. Sorry, whatever your character's name is, you're Ross.
Yeah.
It is
Yep.
what it is.
Yep.
It seems like that'd be a curse to have a good series like that, because then you're typecast for the rest of the time as Ross or
Yeah,
Rachel or
Harry
Joey.
Potter. Yeah. Harry Potter.
Yeah.
same way.
The whole 9 yards. That's with
Yeah.
Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
kind
I
of hard
mean-
to not see him as Chandler, because that's just kind of what came out. So
Yep.
number 2.
Number 2.
This one was really tough for the number 1 position. Downton Abbey.
Ooh.
Man, do I love that series. It is so good. And Rose is very much against a period piece. She does not like period pieces. But about 3 episodes deep, she couldn't get enough. And we watched the entire series.
Wow.
So coming in at number 1. Boy, it's a feel-good show. Ted
Uh-huh.
Lasso.
Yeah.
Love Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Be a goldfish.
Yep.
You know,
Right.
I just so much, man. I can't say
Barbecue sauce.
enough. That's right, barbecue sauce.
One of my favorite practice.
Yeah,
You just that whole scene right there, and I know he was
you're hurt.
re-monologuing.
You can't do it because you're practicing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he was redoing the whole monologue. Allen Iverson or someone got up there and
Yeah,
did a whole
Iverson.
monologue saying the same thing. You have to practice, and then to use it like that, I was like, oh, that is good. That is
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Ted Lasso. I'll
Such
agree
a
with you on that one.
such a great show. You know, just to see good win out like that, and to see it change a nation, to see it change a culture, to
Mhm.
see somebody that they did not agree with, they didn't think that he could do it, but through his positivity, and not to say that he didn't have, you know, skeletons in his closet and,
Yep.
and things that he had to deal with, because he did, and you saw that. And that was kind of that nice element to it, where you saw the struggle, and it wasn't just always an easy day, but sometimes it was hard to get up in the morning. But he came in, and that positive attitude, that go get 'em spirit that he has, it was infectious. And even just as a TV series, as you're watching it, it was infectious, and you're like,
Yep.
I want to believe too.
Believe.
That's really
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
And through the whole thing, the guy is the most positive you can be, and they show him, and he's the loneliest he could be.
Yes.
Like, if you
Yeah.
think about it, he is so lonely in between all those things. And I'm like, man, that's understand. That is cool. That is it right there.
Well, for someone to just be 100% positive and
Yeah,
not
to
have a
nothing.
struggle, you can't relate with. But to see somebody who puts a smile on their face, and it's not that it's fake, but he's trying. He's legitimately trying, but you see the struggle that he has, and the
Mhm.
difficulty, and sometimes it cripples you like it does him in certain aspects. That's relatable, and that's where people are like, I know where you're at with that. But
Mhm.
see him overcome it, and he doesn't do it by himself.
Yep.
You know, you need people around you to help you out, to lift you up. Fantastic show. I love it. That's
Yep.
why it's number one. Love that show.
Yep.
Okay.
Very good.
Honorable mentions. In no particular order. I'm just going to just fire them away.
Go for it.
Mad About You.
Yep.
Home
I haven't heard that
Improvement.
in a long time. Wow.
Space Above and Beyond. If you know, you know. Such a good series. Got
don't
canceled
know.
way ahead of its time. So ahead of its time. It was in the 90s. But it was kind of one of those modern day Star Trek type of things. But they without getting too far into it, look it up, Space Above and Beyond, check it out. I wish it was still running, because they could make some serious money off that. Star Trek, The Next Generation. Nice one. I thought you had this, or at least
it's in
Deep
my-
Space Nine, or
It,
you know,
The
I could
TOS,
show you
at least.
this and show you the bottom one would be Star Trek Deep Space Nine. It was one of those I
Ooh,
said I
Deep
wasn't going to
Space.
go into.
Okay.
Yep,
yeah.
that's in the bottom.
Alf,
Yeah.
Poor
Family
Alf.
Matters,
Yeah.
and Family Matters was the spinoff to The Perfect Strangers.
Yeah.
Step by Step. And the three that I really grew up with, because my dad is a big sci-fi fan. The Outer Limits, The Twilight Zone, and Amazing Stories. You guys remember Amazing Stories?
Yeah, I do.
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh man, were those fantastic or what?
Yep.
I loved watching those growing up as a kid. So mine kind of harken back to more of a younger side,
Nostalgia.
you know,
Mhm.
very
Yeah.
very much nostalgia. But
Yeah.
I've got some that are a little bit more modern
Yes.
sprinkled in. But yeah, I mean, just harken back to some of the good old days when a good TV show was there and you had to wait a week and tune into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, overrated and underrated. So I'll get my overrated out of the way. Vampire Diaries. Overrated. Can't stand it. No, not buying it. Just I can't. Sorry. Baywatch. Yeah, my wife is probably mad at me right now. Sorry, Rose.
Is this
Can't stand
overrated or
Baywatch.
under?
Yeah. It's
Over.
overrated.
Under?
Overrated.
You need to see more
Over.
Hasselhoff.
Well
Is that
over.
what-
Is more
No.
Hasselhoff?
No.
No.
And this one, I'm probably going to get some hate from people who are big fans, but Doctor Who,
Why?
couldn't get into it. It's just, it wasn't my cup of tea. It's like, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good for you.
You like
That's
the
awesome.
amazing this amazing story sounds like in the Twilight Zone. I mean, Doctor Who is basically living in the Twilight Zone every day.
And that's probably very, very true. I tried to watch one episode where the mannequins were trying to kill the lady.
The very
I
first
think that was
Episode
the very
one.
first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the
And I was
new
like,
run.
Yeah.
Pass.
Trust me, get past that episode. Like I too was like,
Okay,
this is
okay.
dumb as and sorry,
I-
this
I-
is bleep. This is dumb as bleep. It doesn't count.
It's
though.
too late now.
Yeah, but you get past that.
Causing
you're
more
like,
work
okay,
for me
this
later.
is-
That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah. I think
This is
you're up to
gonna
like
be
4 or
crazy.
5 now.
No, it's not. I'm purposely not cursing.
Okay. So underrated. Underrated. Space Above and Beyond. Seriously, you guys got to look that up.
Uh-huh.
It's a really good show. Amazing Stories and Quantum Leap. Those are my underrated.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that, you know, I don't think Quantum Leap really got the love that it deserved. Really.
Yeah.
It was kind of one of those, let's see what else is on. But it's a fantastic show.
Did you think they wrapped it up? They
How
gave
do
a
you
little
wrap something
spin-off.
like that up?
Yeah.
Better than Sam Never Returned Home. That one seems
Oh,
like you could have done
that's
better.
fair.
Spoiler alerts, everyone. Spoiler. Yeah.
If you haven't seen it by now,
Sorry.
most likely you'll run across it before you run across this podcast.
Yeah,
But, you
yeah.
know, whatever.
Stop pulling it out like that, Wiseman. God.
Matt, what you
Very
got?
good. All right, fellas. I'm going to start with my honorable mentions here first. Go ahead and get those out of the way. These are honorable mentions. They were not really close to getting into my top 10, except for one of them. But Big Bang Theory is an honorable mention for me. How I Met Your Mother. Great show. Tawny and I binge watched that. I think there's 11 seasons of it. She was on the. She enjoys it more than Friends. We'll just say that. And I'm just like, and I'm not gonna lie. There was times I was like, is this better than Friends? But no, it's. I mean, it has some great characters, but
Slaps
no.
giving.
Yeah. Yes. Barney, fantastic character. I called some of the plot lines along the way a few seasons ahead before they happened, and of course they happened. And anyways, it's a great show. I do honorable mention. Another honorable mention of mine is The X-Files. Greatly enjoy The X-Files. Mulder and Scully, love the theatrical films that they did for that as well. Another honorable mention, fairly recent, fairly new, The Pit on HBO.
That's good.
Fantastic show.
Yeah.
I loved ER, but I greatly enjoying The Pit more so just because I feel like they can do more on HBO than they could on net broadcast television. So
That was technically supposed to be the sequel to
it
ER,
was supposed to be the
but
reboot.
They
Yep.
didn't allow that.
Yep. The controlling owner of ER had a big hang up, and they're like, all right, we'll go do our own thing and change a few things here, and away they went, and boy, did they miss out.
Yeah, they did.
Another honorable mention, The Wire on HBO. It's
Oh.
if you guys haven't seen it, it is fantastic writing and storyline, just great stuff. The Wire. Another one, honorable mention, Supernatural. There's like 15 seasons of this show. Fantastic stuff. I greatly enjoy Supernatural. And this, another honorable mention, Fringe. If you guys haven't watched
That was
Fringe,
good. Oh,
it's a
man.
J.J. Abrams production. Oh, fantastic.
Joshua
show.
Jackson does a good job in that show.
Yes, he does. Yep. Such a great, and I love the way that they wrapped it up. It was great all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And my last honorable mention that I just couldn't put in my top 10, but it really hurt a little bit. I grew up with it. Greatly enjoy the show. I say show. It's a bunch of shorts, but The Three Stooges. The Three Stooges is my type of humor, slapstick humor. I can remember growing up waiting for shows to get over late on Friday evening, and there would always be a series, at least an hour or two, of Three Stooges shorts come on, and I got to stay up and watch them before having to go to bed, even on Friday night, but, of course we're talking, younger, but I mean, it stuck with me, the Three Stooges. It was fantastic. Some honorable mentions. So we'll get into my top 10 now. And these are top 10 that I moved around a little bit, but greatly enjoy. Number 10, the original Law and Order. That is one of those shows they can just put on and see from beginning to end all the way through, which I love seeing the crime, the detective work, and then the court trial, which a lot of these more recent court shows seem like lacking that part of it. And I really enjoy seeing that, the courtroom side of things in shows.
Yeah.
Number 9, highly recommend this show if you guys like the old Civil War era, Deadwood. Deadwood on HBO with Alice Warrington. I believe it still is a show that holds the record for the most F-bombs in a show, and watching it is literally, not exaggerant, about every fourth word.
Wow.
And it is a period piece. Before Game of Thrones, it was the most expensive show HBO ever produced because they literally built the set from the ground up. And I believe it's still there. I believe you can still go visit this set. But Deadwood, South Dakota, is an actual place. Historical things occurred there. But Deadwood, fantastic show. Not one to watch around the kiddies, but it's really good. Number 8, I have Stranger Things on my top 10 list at number 8. The nostalgia in this show, the storyline, it just brings it back to my childhood, just seeing the stuff in the time period that it's in. I greatly enjoy Stranger Things. Number 7, Ted Lasso. Sorry I got down so low there for you. And Nice Wonder, they had it both high. But I have Ted Lasso at number 7. You guys already covered a lot of it. They just don't make shows like that anymore.
Right.
Feel good shows that wholesome. It's just fantastic. It's one that I could go back and rewatch again. I've actually asked Tanya if she'd want to. And right now it's a no, but I'm sure she will, especially if they're coming out with a season 4, which they have been found up in Kansas City filming. So that's pretty exciting if that is coming through. So,
that'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yes, it would. I have at number 6, I have Friends. Friends coming in on my list at number 6. Great series. I've seen it a couple times through, and it just Ross and Rachel, Chandler and Monica, Joey and Phoebe, just fantastic characters, and how they sent it off there. I mean, you knew when the finale was coming up, it was kind of almost a Super Bowl level event,
Yeah.
the final episodes there. So great time. Number 5, I have The Office. The Office beat out Friends on my list here, but The Office, that's just one of those you put on in the background and just let play and just enjoy knowing, the scenes and everything of that nature. I had a difficult time when Michael left the show, just for the fact I felt he was the heart of the show.
Mm-hmm.
They did an okay job afterwards, but it wasn't as strong. But the characters that they have were strong enough to try to get it through a couple more seasons. I mean, Dwight and Jim and Pam, it did good, but the heart of the show, you could tell, was gone there. And the fill-in bosses that they brought in, every day, or, every week was a different, new boss. And they did have a few that stuck around a few episodes, but just wasn't the same. But overall, it's still fantastic. So it comes in at number 5 for me.
Do you have an alarm if we pick number 5 as the same one? Like I picked 5 as The Office too. So is there like a wee wee? Woo. All right. Yeah, there it is.
That'll be the one.
That's it.
And cut.
And on to the next one.
On to number 4. Number 4 for me is The Twilight Zone, the original. I could put that on and just watch episode after episode. Paige, when she was growing up, New Year's Day, they have a Twilight Zone marathon on Sci-Fi, and her and I would just sit and watch that just for hours on end. Of course, she's gotten older and everything, and now Tanya and I, it was nothing. It'd be nothing for us to put that on, and just watch episode after episode. One of my favorite episodes is the poor man, and he just wanted to read. He just wanted to read his books, and ended up being a nuclear fallout. But he was the only one saved. He was the only one that survived because he found himself in the bank vault, and came out and had all the books and all the time in the world to read all of a sudden. But then, of course, he drops his glasses and they break. So, classic Twilight Zone storyline. So, it's one of my favorite episodes that they have. At number 3, I have Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad's coming in at number 3 for me on my list. Fantastic story, telling plot lines. I am going to say that it took Tony and I at least twice to get into the show. We started the first season. We got a few episodes, probably 4 or 5 episodes in, and we're like, I don't see what the big fuss is about on Breaking Bad. And we went away about 6-7 months later, tried it again, and just willed ourselves to get through the first season, just try to do it, because that's back when I believe the last season was, starting to air, and, everyone was just everywhere you went, promotions and everything. It was like, okay, what's the big deal about this? We finally got through the first season, and then we watched the first episode of season 2, and it just hooked us. We were like, wow, okay, what happens next? Because the way it ends in the first episode of season 2 is kind of a cliffhanger, and, well, okay, we got to start the next episode, see what just happened, and it just snowballed downhill after that. We just binge watched the rest of the season and seasons after that. First season is very dry, very slow, but looking back, you have to have that first season as the foundation for the rest of the seasons to stand upon. And you're not going to appreciate the first season until you finish the series. And you're like, okay, I'm glad they had that first season to build these characters for us to understand who they are, why they're doing what they're doing, and, their place. The action, everything really picks up in season 2 and just goes, 100 miles per hour after that. So that's my number 3. It's one of those
shows where there's not a whole lot of filler episodes. Every episode seems to have a reason or continuing the storyline in some way or another. Yes. It's like you don't ever go, oh man, that was a waste of time. Like they just need to make something happen. Nope. There's something going on. There's something building. Or that later on it'll come back to something that you're like, oh my God, that was such a small detail. Like, holy cow.
Yep. Yes, just brilliant writing. Everything was connected there. At number 2, I have Seinfeld. I did not appreciate this show when it was on the air when I was younger, in the 90s. I just did not appreciate the show. I tried to watch it when it was on TV, and it's like, I don't get what they're laughing at, or I don't get this humor. And
it's nothing.
I tell you what, getting older, watching this series, the humor, everything just hits so much different when you are older, and just like, okay, I totally agree with that, or I relate to that. It's just dead on, and so it's just fantastic. Seinfeld.
Do you eat a Snickers with a fork and a knife?
I don't, and I don't double dip my chips either. So, the marine biologist with George, that episode is probably one of my favorite episodes. The marine biologist.
It was shrinkage. That's all I remember from Seinfeld.
It was spotting. They were spotting them squirrels. I was spotting them squirrels. They were mailboxes. I didn't have the heart to tell you.
So yeah, just great show. Great. I love Seinfeld.
I've thought about getting the Superman that you always had in the background. I've seen that statue a couple times. I'm like, ooh, should I get that? No, it's pricey.
And my number one, anyone who knows me, it's just the problem for me putting this at number one. The vast gap between number one and number two is just ginormous for me. But my number one show is Lost. It's
And now
it-
everyone understands why we were so apologetic.
I it has ruined me for so many shows, because you get from the creators or from like Lost, you hear all the taglines of people, they're trying to hook people into it, and I just no, they're not anywhere close. It's the music even to Lost is just iconic for me. I greatly enjoy the music, the piano pieces, the orchestra portions of it there. It hits just dead on every time.
Did you know, I don't know if you knew this or not, but the main theme is written by Paul Cardall, and the
Okay.
title of the song is called Life and Death.
Life and Death. Wow, I thought that was written by Michael Giacchino. Life and Death, I believe.
Michael Giacchino?
Giacchino, yes.
Okay.
Life and Death.
Okay.
Impressive
Don't
that
quote
you
me
knew
there, but
Giacchino. Like you were like, oh,
Giacchino,
must be Giacchino.
I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna butcher this name, but
Michael Giacchino is a very, very well known composer.
Yes.
And I do follow him. I love his pieces. So yeah.
Yep. So verify that later on. See if I'm right there. But I believe it was there. I followed J.J. Abrams since he created the show. Damon
Damon
Lindelof and Carlton Cuse. Anytime I see their name attached to anything, I'm at least looking at it. Of course, Damon Lindelof did Star Wars. J.J. Abrams did Star Wars. David Lindelof was involved in Star Trek, as well as J.J. Abrams, the reboot of Star Trek.
which he did very well with, I think.
He
Which
did. Fantastic.
also, I was just verifying because I was pretty sure that Michael Giacchino also did the new Star Trek
Yes.
motion picture soundtrack, which he did.
Yep.
So it's a very, very iconic. I mean, if you're going to make an iconic movie, you need to have an iconic sound, but it also needs to be original, and he
Yes.
nailed it. So
Yep, he did fantastic. And one of the directors of Lost, of some of the episodes, I think it was over 30 episodes, 35, 38, somewhere around there. Jack Bender, I believe, is his name. Fantastic. A lot of the episodes he did for Lost were just spot on. I can't say he did the finale. I can't remember. But the Game of Thrones, towards the last few seasons there, it was announced that I saw his name, and they announced some special guest directors for some episodes. Saw his name instantly and got excited. I was like looking up, okay, you end up filming 2 episodes. One episode was the infamous Hodor episode, where we learned Hodor's past. So if
Wow.
you guys go back and watch
That's
that's
important
a Jack Bender-
episode.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a Jack Bender from Lost fame who did that episode. So
that fits.
I was all over it.
So
I've seen Lost. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
have you gone to Hawaii to see the Lost site and
I have
memorabilia, the
not.
fuselage?
No,
anything
I
like
have
that?
not. I actually had some good friends who went and actually did the site tour and brought me back some sand from the crash site. So it's right over here on my bookcase back there behind me. So along with my collector's edition Blu-ray special edition, as well as my Lost Encyclopedia that is over here underneath my head. So, and I have a
looked
Lost
through that. That is an
uh,
awesome piece.
yeah, Lost poster over here as well. So
So you're really going to have to work on Tanya in order to go to Hawaii. I feel like you're going to have to
they have
really
taken
twist her
down
arm.
most of the sets there. So unfortunately,
Oh, really?
they have replaced a lot of sets with different movie stuff.
I mean,
stuff of
How
that
long
nature.
ago were those sets put up there?
Let's not talk
2010,
about
so
that.
it's been out 15 years. It's been off
Wow.
there 15 years now. So, but I mean, I've seen the series through 6 times in full. I've watched the finale 20 plus times. I will put the finale on as just a movie and watch it because it's about an hour and a half. And
Yeah.
it's one of those things I try to promote Lost to anybody who hasn't seen it. That if you do watch it, get to the finale, you have to come over. We'll have some, whatever. I'll go wherever you're going. I just want to watch the finale with you because I just enjoy the finale so much. And without question, there's always questions of stuff that people watching it for the first time may not pick up on or catch, and I'm more than happy to help them with those puzzling questions, and not force answer upon them, but kind of lead them to come to their own conclusion, and because that's really what it was trying to do. So yeah. And again, the space between number one and number two for me is just massive, but that is my top 10 there, fellas.
I like it.
Overrated, underrated. I will start with underrated. This is a show I haven't mentioned yet, but it's a show that only sadly had 2 seasons. It was on NBC, I believe, called Timeless. It was on for a very brief period, and it dealt with time travel. And it was just a great series and show. Great intertwining storylines, and they jumped around in history, trying to catch this guy who was also jumping around history, altering history, preventing certain assassinations, this and that, and so altering timelines. So just great premise to the show, and unfortunately it only lasted 2 seasons. So the second underrated show I have is Fringe. If no one's watched Fringe, I highly recommend it. It is great show. Another J.J. Abrams show, as I mentioned earlier. And my last underrated is Supernatural. It is a great series. It has a great overarching storyline as well as episodic, villain of the week that they go in and solve. But it also has an overarching storyline. And because of that, it's just great. And it runs 15 seasons, like I said earlier. So it's really good in that regard. I'm going to get to my overrated, and these might be a little rough for some people, but when I thought of overrated, there was one show that popped straight to my mind, and that is The Walking Dead. It is by far the most overrated show I could think of. Again,
Now, is that because you're a comic fan?
that has something to do with it. As I mentioned in my movie reviews, Ready Player One, I greatly enjoyed the book and the movie. 2 separate storylines, but they hit it, out of the park. The Walking Dead, not so much. The Walking Dead altered the comic line pretty early on, and I struggled to get over that. But then the changes that they made, I just couldn't get on board with, and I was just like, yeah, I'm done. And it felt so slow. Like very minimal action, just like a lot of people around in the countryside just hanging out, having these very boring conversations that I knew did not occur in the comics, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay, I couldn't buy it. So, and I honestly don't know how many seasons that went. I know it went on for a while, but
Was it like 9 or 10? I thought
it was a bunch. Now they have spinoffs, Daryl and somebody, Carol or so, I can't remember. But and then my last, another overrated. I've seen the show. I just don't understand it. Is 2.5 Men. I will see episodes of it on, and I will sit and watch a little bit of it, but I do not understand why anybody enjoyed that show, nor how it lasted as long as it did. I really don't have any idea. Like when I was younger with Seinfeld, do not understand any of the humor that 2.5 Men is trying to do. It's very cheap, cheesy, slapstick type comedy that is not
Right.
good at all. So, and then my last overrated show is I watched the whole thing. I tried to like it. It's just not my thing, and that is Sons of Anarchy. I find it to be overrated with as many people that do enjoy it. That's great. That's your cup of tea. It's not mine. I try While I'm not caught up on Yellowstone, I tell people Yellowstone is Sons of Anarchy on horses, and I greatly enjoy Yellowstone much more than Sons of Anarchy on motorcycles. The whole bike club, the whole this or that, it was always something. Something would, happen that would get resolved, and oh, guess what? Something else is going to happen. Just one thing after another. Just kind of like, okay, this game, this scheme is played out. Even people that like Sons of Anarchy will admit, I think it's season 3 or 4 when they go to Ireland and the whole
Yeah.
season.
There's
is
no
there.
read for that.
Even those people that like Sons of Anarchy will say that is a terrible season. So, in my defense, if you can rule out an entire season being awful, I don't know how. Yeah, so I'm just like Sons of Anarchy is overrated in my book. So, that is my list there. You guys hit on a lot of the ones that I had on my list. I mean, there's some shows that I want to get into, like The Sopranos. I wish I could get into The Sopranos and watch it because, so a lot of people refer to that, Sopranos.
Agreed.
Severance
It's
is
one of those
another
that
one.
everyone talks about. I've
Yeah.
never watched an episode.
Yeah. So,
I have one that I was fighting with being in my top 10, but I'm going to give it a little bit more time because it's just starting. I've read all the books, but they're the books by Jack Carr, The Terminal List. I think that the first season, which is book 1, has done a great job, and of course they're filming for book 2, True Believer. But yeah, I've read the entire set by Jack Carr for The Terminal List from beginning to end, and it's outstanding. And if they continue in the same trajectory that he's already written out, so the whole series is played out. So they have their script in front of them if that's really what they want.
Mhm.
Now they take some liberties, but it's not too far to where it takes away from the book that Jack has already written.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's up there as well. I don't know if either one of you have actually watched
I
The
have
Terminal List through and through, but it's good. It's really good.
check it out. I'll have to check it out. All right, fellas. Well, that was our top 10 and overrated, underrated, and honorable mentions for TV shows. If you guys enjoyed our list, if you agreed with them, disagreed with them, please let us know at twcgchat@gmail.com. And
So-
let us know what you think.
Matt,
got
yours
right,
was
what we got wrong.
yours was Lost. Mine was Band of Brothers, and what was Wiseman's number 1?
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Yes,
Can't
right.
go
That's
wrong
quite
with
Was
the-
that a
those
quiz?
three.
Did we pass? Was
that's
that a
good.
quiz?
I was wondering. I was like, what was number 1's again? I remember mine.
Yeah.
Wiseman's. I didn't remember Ted Lasso. I should have.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, fellas, I just mentioned our email. We actually did get an email this week. Let me pull
Cool.
this up here and read it out. This is from Steve, and this one here is coming from the lovely, beautiful Tanya Mortar. Emailed us here. Hello, Nice Wonger, Wiseman, and Mortar. Let me start
Hi,
by
Tanya.
saying to all of
Hello.
you that I am thoroughly enjoying the podcast. I find myself laughing, analyzing, and participating. There is something on my mind that I would like to clear the air about. Thank you. She's letting us know what we got right or wrong here. I have a feeling who she's singling out here, though. on week 3's episode, there was a segment on lyrics versus beat and rhythm. Mortar mentioned that I am a lyric person and he is a rhythm and beat person. I would categorize myself as both. How could I be a deadhead otherwise? Yes, very, very much true. Very true.
Yeah, you guys do love your Grateful Dead.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But that's not why I am emailing you. I am sending you this email just to clear up one little comment about the song "Cake by the Ocean." Boy, this bothered her. Yeah. I actually do like that song, and I like the lyrics. I just was singing along, and one day someone told me what "Cake by the Ocean" really means. Well, I was quite surprised to learn about it, but I continued to think that is a very clever use of the lyrics. So she wanted to clear that up a little bit there. Little did I know. Haha. It is probably one of those songs that I really only know the chorus. Shocker there for her, though. Mortar is correct about the song Lips of an Angel by Hinder. I do not like that song. I will not listen to it if it is on. I turn it immediately to anything else I can find. With that being said, please keep making me laugh week after week. It is a far cry from my murder true crime podcast that I usually listen to. A much lighter podcast to enjoy. Thank you guys for inviting us all into your banter. So,
Tanya, thank you for listening, and thank you for emailing as well. We definitely welcome any kind of banter, chat, opinion, everything. So we'll take it. We love it.
Yes, indeed.
Tanya is one of the most. She's one of the smartest people with music I've ever been around. Like, her knowledge of music is just awe-inspiring. And then to try and play the music games against her feels a bit not fair. But we'll just go from there. But just, hey, you want to play a song game against an encyclopedia? No, but let's go ahead. Yeah.
Want to play against Soundhound? All right, let's do it. So who gets it first there? Yeah.
We'll try.
So
arm wrestling against Thor, and he's like, "You're doing a good job.
You're doing fine.
Bring me another coffee." I wanted to try a new segment this week, fellas. It's the Rotten Tomatoes score versus challenge. What we're going to do here with this is I'm going to list off some movies, and Wiseman and Niswonger will select which movie they feel has the higher Rotten Tomato score. And for those who don't know, Rotten Tomatoes is a movie critic website which gathers basically all the scores and reviews of movies from movie critics, and it gives it a numerical score based off of that. So, and there's going to be 9 challenges here. As soon as we get done, whoever has the most correct or with the highest score of movies will be the winner of our first Rotten Tomatoes score versus challenge. If there is a tie, I do have a tiebreaker, and we will go over that. Okay. First movie challenge that is up. It is Superman 2025 versus Man of Steel. Which movie has the higher Rotten Tomatoes score? Superman 2025 or Man of Steel?
What?
And your answers would be?
I'd say it's Superman
2025.
You don't think Man of Steel would be higher?
No.
Okay, well, I mean, all right, if you guys say so. You guys are going with the same answer. I like that. Okay, next one we're going with.
I feel like that's a trick question and a half with how much you give me crap for not liking Superman 2025. That is the
Next
only
one.
reason I'm going with this.
We'll see who goes with this one. We'll go with Batman, the original from 1989, Michael Keaton, or The Batman from 2022 with Robert Pattinson. Which one has a higher Rotten Tomato score?
Do we say these out loud, or do we?
Yes, I
say The Batman.
The Batman. Okay, how about you, Niswonger?
Even though the original Batman with Michael Keaton was so much better, I don't think it got as good of reviews as the Batman did. So I'm going to go with Robert Pattinson's The Batman.
Okay.
Right.
You guys are
understanding that this is not my opinion towards it, but what I'm assuming Rotten Tomatoes, which I think we all know how well they do on grading.
Well, it's all the movie critics, so you guys got to think about it. It was around then, so it's got to think about that. So next
feel like the
up.
critics back then were a little harder than they are nowadays. That's all I'm going to say.
I was going to say
there.
we had 2 back then, and it was Siskel and Ebert, and now we just got 1. So
well, Ebert gave Forrest Gump 2 thumbs down. So I mean, you got to think about that as well. So, anyways, we're on to the next challenge here: Avengers from 2012. So Avengers 1 versus Avengers Infinity War from 2018. So would that be Avengers 3, I believe? Which one has the higher Rotten Tomato score?
I say Infinity War.
Agreed.
Mr.
Like we're not
Wiseman.
doing too well here because I'm agreeing with Wiseman. Not because of the game. That's just how it's going today.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all right.
Normally I like to
That's
play
okay.
these strategically and just try and win. But this
Next
time, it's
one,
just-
we have Thor Dark World, so Thor 2, versus Thor Love and Thunder.
Love and
Which one
Thunder.
has the higher score? Nice Wonger is going with Love and Thunder. Okay.
I say Dark World.
Dark World. Okay. We got our first
I only
separate
went on
two.
this one. The only reason is because that was the worst Thor of all of them was the Dark World. I thought that was pandered like badly. Like of all the Thor movies, they could get rid of that one and be A-okay. Like that's
Yeah.
where my mind is going on that one.
Yeah. I like it. Next challenge is The Matrix versus District 9. Which one has the higher Rotten Tomato score? The Matrix versus District 9.
I'm going District 9.
I'm going to say The Matrix.
All right. You guys getting a little bit different. I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Next
Yeah.
one. This is going to be a doozy. Back to the Future, the original, versus Ghostbusters. Which one has a higher Rotten Tomato score?
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Ghostbusters.
All right. Next one up, we have Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, versus Star Wars Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. Which one has the higher Rotten Tomato score?
Were some of these shocking to you when you were figuring this out?
Say what now?
No,
Were some of
don't
these-
don't answer that.
Were
Don't
some of
answer that.
these shocking to you whenever you were figuring these out? Now I'm going to pay attention to how you respond to this to go with my
I
answer.
say Empire Strikes Back.
Wiseman's
I'm
going with
guessing
Episode
Rotten
5.
Tomatoes is
Okay.
pushing Empire.
Okay.
I immediately thought Empire just because I liked it better than Star Wars, and I'm going to go Empire as well.
Okay. Very good. All right. On to challenge number 8 of 9. We have Jurassic Park, the original, versus The Terminator, the original. Which one has the higher Rotten Tomato score?
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Okay.
What are you writing down over there? Like, are you doing
am I
math
writing down?
problems? Yeah, like
I'm writing them down and I'm making my selection and I'm check marking next to my selection
Okay.
so I can kind of
Okay.
follow along.
All right.
I mean, he's typing, I'm writing. What do you want from me?
The last one we have up for challenging here is The Prestige by Christopher Nolan versus another Christopher Nolan film, Interstellar. Which one has the higher Rotten Tomato score? The Prestige or Interstellar?
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
I'm going to go with Prestige only because this is going to be, well, I mean, we have 3 other ones that we've disagreed on. So I'm going to go with the Prestige.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Very
I like
good.
it.
I like it. Yes, I do too. Very good. So let me tally up these scores here real quick.
Do you guys ever pick a random pin to play with during the podcast and that just happens to be the only pin that has ink coming out of it? Is that
No.
just me that
Yeah.
this happens to? Okay.
I can't say
just
I have
checking.
that problem. No, yeah.
All right, so I wanted to let you know what's happening over here. I pulled a pin out to play with it instead of a fidget spinner because I didn't want to create any sound, and instead I picked the only one leaking ink right into my hands. And I was paying attention to the screen, so when I looked down, I was like, like a Doc Brown moment, like, oh, here we go. That's nice.
That's great.
I'm just hoping that through all that, I still managed to beat you, Wiseman, because I'm undefeated so far.
That's true. Out of 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep, I'm still undefeated.
All right.
Small
Well, with
victories
our
here.
Rotten Tomatoes score versus challenge. We do have a winner without a tie. It came in at 5-3, and tonight's winner for this is Nicewonger.
Wow.
Whoa!
Oop, oop.
Yes.
Man,
Okay, so
yeah,
I'm
you
You
need to
curious.
give
guys
you a
both
thump on
got
the-
you guys got the first one correct. Superman 2025 comes in
Okay.
with Rotten Tomato score of 85 compared to Man
Look.
of Steel of 57. Now, when you asked
Look.
me if I was shocked at some of these, I was shocked how low Man of Steel
Man of
was at
Steel.
Yeah.
57. But yes, at
Look.
number 2, Batman 89 versus the Batman. Batman 89 71. The Batman 85. So yes, it quite handily beat the
I
original.
disagree, but yeah, there you go.
The next one, you guys both got incorrect. The original Avengers,
Really?
91.
Wow.
Infinity War, only 85.
I would have figured that would have been a little bit more anticipated.
A lot of
Interesting.
people pick
Oh,
Infinity
I
War
didn't
as one of
think-
the greater. But yeah,
But it's sadder.
Huh.
Like they get wiped out at the
Yes.
end, which I'm assuming
Yeah.
would take away from the points of it because it's a sad. Whereas the Avengers was a first,
Yeah, but-
like, oh, they won. That was like badass.
If you're already invested into it, though, aren't you going to go ahead and watch it anyways?
yeah.
Yes,
and
but
it
if
kind of
you're-
leaves
if-
on a cliffhanger too, the Infinity War too, obviously, because you got to know, wait for Endgame. But
All right.
yeah,
Well,
Imagine
yeah, hard to
you're-
say.
Imagine you're critiquing this and your favorite character just died. You're like, oh, one.
not
on
very
to the
fair,
Winter
but all
Soldier.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Thor Dark World came in at 66. Thor Love and Thunder came in at 65. So Wiseman guessed correctly on that one. Dark World actually is rated 1 point higher than Love and Thunder.
Wow.
The Matrix. The Matrix comes in at 83. District 9 comes in at 90. It quite handily is
Wow.
rated higher than Matrix.
There's a
Interesting.
reason it's
Uh,
on my list of movies. It's a good movie.
Good movie. Back to the Future comes in rated at 97. Ghostbusters
Wow.
comes in rated at 95. So Back to the Future is rated higher than Ghostbusters there.
That's
So the one-
impressive.
It is
So that's
3
two for
points away
Nicewonger
from
back to back.
100%. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Star Wars Episode 4 rated a 94. You guys both got this one incorrect as well, as Star Wars Episode 5 rated at 93, 1 point behind Episode 4. And I think that could be just from the groundbreaking film that Star Wars Episode 4 was. Could be why it's just 1 point higher.
You
It's
would
the
have
only
you
thing
would
I
have
think
thought
of.
that like would have been more niche, and not everybody would be into that, and then you'd have a greater amount that's into Empire Strikes Back and a better review.
Yeah.
That seems backwards, but all right. Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Next up, we have Jurassic Park coming in with a score of 91. The Terminator actually comes in with a score of 100. It is one of the. There are several movies out there scored 100. Terminator is one of the higher rated ones with 70 plus critics. Some of these other hundreds only have about 30 or 40 critics. The Terminator has over 70 critics reviews, and it's still hitting at a 100. So, yep. So that one, you both missed out on that one. And then the last one, The Prestige, coming in at 77, and Interstellar's hitting at 73. So another one Nicewonger took right there.
Wow.
Yep.
And you took that one for the sake of taking that one.
I think he did,
Yeah,
yes.
I was doing the math of it, and it was
And
like
here I was
mm.
I was thinking
Had
like
not,
Prestige,
it would just been 4-3 at that point.
Well,
Mhm.
the Prestige would have. That's interesting. Well, that goes to show you that I am not that connected with Rotten Tomatoes that well.
Well, good. We'll have this one again next week. No, no. Wiseman's
I
gonna
like
start
that.
reading reviews there and see.
No.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So Nicewonger now is 2-0 in the challenges there. So great
Well done,
job,
sir.
Nicewonger.
Well done.
You and your ink hand seems to have a
Yeah.
special clue there.
Special
I was
plea.
wondering what the Easter egg was going to be this week for Nicewonger here. I mean, we've had the get up and
Fidget
leave camera
spinner.
completely.
The get up and leave.
We've
falling
had the
iPad.
wheezing, yeah.
Mhm.
We've
Yeah,
had
yeah.
the fidget spinner, yeah. And now
Don't
we
worry,
have the
I
ink.
banged my microphone a
The
couple
ink blot.
times. I've done everything I can. I would like to mention for the listeners that his number one question here about Superman and the Man of Steel is actually something we've went round and round on off air several
There will be
times. And I
another
think
episode
the
coming
only
up,
reason
yeah.
he did that was so that he could hear me say that it has a better Rotten Tomatoes score than Man of Steel. Like, this is his way of getting me
I don't know what you're
Moves
talking about.
and
That's-
counter moves.
yeah,
moves and counter
that's,
moves.
that'd be a pretty cool thing if I were to think that way, wouldn't it?
Oh, ooh.
Says the game master.
So good. I enjoyed that segment there, guys. I think you guys did as well. So that was a lot of fun.
That was.
I have another segment. We will save that for next week there. Just be a little teaser for everyone to tune in next week. It'll be another hot seat challenge, and we've done one of those prior. And I will not let you guys know the subject just yet, but we'll have fun with that next week, as well as our topic, which we've already kind of started the homework on that. So it should be a fun episode.
This was hard. This went the homework you gave us for these series. I thought it was going to be easy until I sat down and plopped down like 13 right off the bat. Like, crap!
Yep.
Like,
I mean, we'd even list. I mean, you got your nostalgia, you got your Fantasy Island, Mork and Mindy, Three's Company, the A Team,
Gilligan's
Island, Moonlight.
This is another one of those.
It's just,
I Love Lucy.
Yeah,
it's a subject that we could have even taken more time. We could have divided it into like different things. Like Wiseman came with a lot of 80s sitcoms on this one, which we could have gave its own show too. It's just best 80s
very
sitcoms.
well may. Yeah, very well may. Email us. Let us know if you'd like to hear that, and we will definitely get it in there. So I agree. There's so many shows. Parks and Rec, another great show.
What's that email?
Just a lot of tough ones. What's the email?
TWCGchat
at gmail.com.
There you go.
That's right. So we'll have Nicewonger saying it here one of these days too. But it's a little
I refuse to say it because I'm not dyslexic, but I know there are times when I dabble in dyslexia, and that might be a time when I'll be like WKRP at gmail.com.
In Cincinnati.
I had to practice because Greenway was definitely pointing out that I was struggling with it. So, Greenway, if you're listening, I have been practicing. As you just heard, I can do it pretty well now. So, but yes,
every morning while he's brushing his teeth,
he's right.
It's My Fair Lady, or what is it? Where she says, "If you can talk with a mouthful of marbles, you can talk anywhere." Was that My Fair Lady? Yeah,
could be. I don't know.
Oh. Well, y'all need to.
Could be. I don't know. I can't say I watched My Fair Lady, but we see what Nicewanger's been watching here. So, yeah.
Must have been high on Rotten Tomatoes.
Must have been high. Must have been.
I believe you.
Hey, I'm gonna look it up. It's gonna be a good score. It's gonna be like a 2, something like that. I don't know.
2 or something. Yeah. Well, fellas, with that, we will wrap up another week and another chat around the water cooler. We hope you enjoyed your time listening, and we will catch you next week, same time, same cooler. And remember to stay cool and stay questionable. Have a great week, guys.